Welcome back to Morning Footy. JD, I'm looking at top 10, another list, power rankings. What are we doing? Best clubs in the world?
In the world. I know, and I'm going to be like the voters.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm going to be like the voters and say this is very European dominance.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
We're a theme from the Ballon d'Or, right? That's what they say. I need everybody just to turn around and breathe with me for a second. Out. You know why? Because this
no
list
Flamengo, no Palmeiras, who are doing really good in Copa Libertadores, man. Reigning Copa Libertadores champion who beat PSG.
Oh, do you want me to change it? Power rankings in Europe, it says down here in byline, yeah? For my boy Nico Cantor. Yeah, I need everybody just to breathe with me for a second because this list is fluid. That means that this is interchangeable at any point, and this is just what we've seen at the beginning of this season. I need everybody just to focus on the quality, the form, and of course, more importantly, the potential. Hit me with the list. Let's go from the beginning. And this is the one that at number 10 I know is going to cause a lot of controversy from the jump. Dortmund. And let me explain why. Because even though they've had the inconsistency that they had at the back end of 24-25, and you know, Kovac had to steady the ship, as they turn around and say, I still believe in terms of the quality they have in the final third. Adeyemi, as my boy Mike Lahoud love to turn around and talk about. Golazo, another one that's going to be competing across Europe in terms of one of the best goal scorers. This team right here in the final third, as they proved against Juventus, is clinical. It's the other end. Can they turn around and show the consistency defensively that will make them rise up the power rankings? Number 9, talk about inconsistency. I had them about number 8 or 7 going into the season and thinking they were going to climb immediately. I believe in Maresca.
They were world champions.
They were world champions. They came in with the confidence.
They have the badge on their kits.
I love it all.
Did we forget what happened this weekend, though?
The unfortunate thing is they just don't seem to have the consistency that's required to say, oh, we can establish ourselves higher than any of the teams that's above them. I love the basis, and we're going to talk about the positives. Enzo and Caicedo finally looks like a midfield two they can believe in. Cole Palmer, Ballon d'Or recognition yesterday because he's had an incredible last 12 to 18 months. This team has potential. We already know it. Can they climb? Can they be consistent under Maresca's system? Let's go to number 9. Italian fans, please don't come for me. Double M, you know I love you so much to pieces, my brother, but Napoli, I'm putting them at the highest ranked Italian team. That's not to spoil any other things coming. Scudetto winners, yes. MVP and Scott McTominay, yes. Kevin De Bruyne added to the mix with a little bit of spice, but still missing something. I know. We saw it against Manchester City, and that's not really a fair anomaly because, of course, they were down to 10. But just quality in certain positions and in certain spots is going to separate them. One thing I do know about Antonio Conte, they know how to win, though. They definitely know how to win in the right moments. Though he's rolling his eyes already. I like it.
I'm just thinking, what a shame that game between Napoli and Manchester City, that red card was so defining.
Hence why they're 7 and 8. Look, the red card was so defining, but Manchester City are my wild card in this because I want to believe in the spine from Donnarumma to Diaz to Rodri to Foden to Haaland. That right there tells me that's a team that can compete with anybody in world football. It's the other side. It's actually out wide. I'm a little bit concerned. Is there any sort of consistency out wide in terms of, and I think right now Pep Guardiola is in a crossroads in terms of his formation, his trust for his players, and more importantly, can he get the best out of this team right now against Europe's elite? I know I want to get your reaction before we get to the top 5, but number 6, they speak for themselves, right? 15-time Champions League winners, 35 times La Liga winners. I mean, sprinkled with world-class talent throughout. Galacticos, as they say. And Xabi Alonso finally seems to be adding an element of steel and stability to this team that I feel like they're going to embark on something this year. But I want to give them a pass this first year just because of who they are.
Unbeaten in all competitions, not only unbeaten, perfect record in all competitions, blowing their opposition out of the water. I'm actually surprised they're not higher on the list. I don't care about 10 and below, even 9 and below. I think that's extremely interchangeable. The rest of the teams 8 and up have quality where maybe you could have a strong list. But I'm surprised Real Madrid is so low.
We see?
I want to see who's in the top 5 over that. I want to give I think there's a little bit of disrespect here to Napoli, though. This is a side without Lukaku that's unbeaten in Serie A right now. They deserve a little bit more credit. And that red card, to me, should be factored in when we consider the head-to-head situation against Manchester City. And I think Pep knows his team's not as good as it was. That's why he just gave the ball to Arsenal in this last match, because he knows his side's not as good as it's been in the past.
Manchester City, proven track record, and they're the wild cards. Napoli struggle through Pisa in some people's eyes, but as you can say,
rotated squad.
Oh, here we go.
It was.
Oh, here we go. Watch number 5 now. Now, this is the one I feel like it was hard done by. Roll the tape. Watch this. Number 5, Bayern Munich. Now, listen, I think they're the most elite team in terms of confidence and form right now across Europe. 18 goals in the Bundesliga. Looking like nobody is near them in terms of quality. Harry Kane, Ballon d'Or recognition yesterday. Michael Olise looks like he's growing into his own. Maybe entering the conversation of world class. This right here might be the most disrespected team on the list because Kompany has done nothing wrong at the start of this season. And to say you're only top 5 is a question mark. But wait for it, because this guy, revenge tour. Right here, see this? This is North London to North London. I can see the revenge tour. Been playing against him his whole life. Obviously, we had different careers in the second part of our lives. But at the same point, he is England's most important player. He's Bayern Munich's most important player. Now he can grow. Number 4. Now watch this. This is where the list starts to shift a little bit. And I want to remind the people at home, this is fluid, right? This is very, very fluid. If you bring the list up right now,
sounds like excuses.
Yeah, he's couching this quite a bit. Couching this quite a bit.
Depth, quality, and you know what it is. Defensive stability sometimes doesn't get the recognition it deserves in world football. They have 8, I would say, top-level defenders, a goalkeeper that doesn't get enough recognition across world football. It's the other part. Can they be creative in the final third? Can they be dynamic in the final third? The return of Saka, the return of Odegaard, and of course, the introduction of Eberechi Eze is going to speak for itself in regards to Arsenal's fortunes this year. Hit me with the top 3 now. You already know what it is. The top 3 speak for themselves. But what order? Okay, I want to get their initial response. Before I defend it, what do you think about PSG?
Yeah, I mean, they lost at the weekend, and I think championship hangover is a real thing. I wonder how good they're going to be. I'm okay with this 3. I maybe would have put PSG at 2 and Liverpool at 3 because Liverpool still have things to sort out. I don't have too many issues with your list. I think Arsenal is really high on your list.
Whoa. What we're not going to have on this section is any more blasphemy towards Arsenal. We're not going to do that.
But not because of Arsenal. Because I think Bayern Munich and Real Madrid right now are at a better place than Arsenal are. I would move these 2. I think you got it right between Bayern and Real Madrid. I would move them both up and have Arsenal drop to 6. I think Arsenal are better than Manchester City. This weekend proved it right now, and they are in a better place. But there's still some things that need to be sorted out at Arsenal, and that's why I'm surprised that they're so high up right now.
Defensive stability.
Yeah, but you got to see what my guy did here. He gave all this love to Harry Kane and then put Arsenal right above him. You know, that was the way. That was a little bit of a head fake. As an Arsenal fan myself, they're way too high right now. They might have shown that they're better than Manchester City, but they didn't win the game at home. If this is a power ranking, they've had 2 chances to prove that they're one of the top sides in Europe or the world right now, and they didn't get it done in either
of those games.
They need to prove it. And what has PSG done? They're missing their best players right now. That has something to do with the results. I think they deserve to be higher.
Yeah, I would have done those swaps. I would have put PSG over Liverpool, and Arsenal dropped it down. And Napoli, I think jury's still out on this Napoli side because they could only focus last season on Serie A, and they won it with so much style. Head-to-head with Inter the whole season through, but now they've gotten better. So where do they rank amongst European teams? I think that's what we want to find out. I respect that at 8. I think that's fair enough.
You know the best part about this list? It's mine. It's mine. And the reason why I have Barcelona at number 1, because doesn't matter what they say across world football, what is attractive to us, it's scoring goals, it's fluid attacking play, it's dynamic. So we can have the conversations about the high line, which we're going to have all season long. 102 goals last year speaks for itself. And once again, Barcelona are looking the fluid themselves that is dominating across Europe, and I love it. Final thoughts quickly before we go to break.
Why are you leaving out Juve if we're talking about scoring goals?
I knew that was going to happen.
See, this is Italian erasure.
I knew that was going to happen. Look, the most important thing is getting involved with yourself. Like, we want to hear your comments, we want to hear your prescriptions. This is the top 10 power rankings right now across Europe according to our list.